Great, so it's 12:32, so I'm going to get started. Welcome everyone to another social science coffee break. I'm Stacy. I work for Learn, and it is a pleasure to be here today to present to you two resources, one for elementary and one for secondary level in social sciences. And all of the activities, well, the two that I'm going to be presented today are wonderful ways to activate your students' digital competency alongside of their competency in their history classes. So I'm going to jump right in and get started. So the first resource that I'm going to share with you today, it's actually a few resources, and these are some of my favorite resources that I have worked on since joining the Learn team. Now, what they are Google slide decks designed specifically around the Making Comparisons IO, or intellectual operation. And why I love these is because the slide decks basically have two documents on them. They're very short documents, a mix of images and text-based documents. And the activity asks students to analyze or look at both of those documents, come up with some facts for each of them, and then below make some comparisons or discuss why, what is different and what is the same between these two documents. So this side-by-side comparison, I think, is a really wonderful, very wonderful way to develop this intellectual operation and the competencies for comparing change over time, as well as looking at diversity between different societies that existed during the same period. And these competency slide decks exist for all of the periods and the societies that are covered in the GHC program for Competency 2 and Competency 3 for elementary cycle 2 and cycle 3. So I'm going to show you where these slide decks live on our Societies and Territories website. I'm going to click on the link on our slide deck today, and you'll notice that it brings me directly to the Competency 2 slide decks. So you'll see they're divided by society and period. So I'm just going to click on the Iroquois societies around 1500 and 1745 so you can get an idea of what these look like. So the Competency 2 and Competency 3 slide decks are very similar. You'll see they each contain about 8 slides. And you'll see that each slide has one document for each society, as I mentioned. And so students can distinguish or identify facts from each of the two documents. And then again, at the bottom, talk about what changes, what is different or the same, if they're able to do that between the two documents. And you'll notice that each of these slide decks also come with a bit of a color guide. So if this was projected on a smart board, or students were using their device, or maybe you're printing these documents out for students, they can color code it to help them identify and analyze the documents. So now I'm going to jump into our resource today for secondary history. Now, these are civil right concept and event cards, and these are a wonderful way to front load vocabulary and concepts to your students, and also check a bit about their prior knowledge before you dive deeper into a unit. And these cards are formatted very similar to the discussion game cards. So if ever you are looking to explore a game with your students, these cards could be integrated in the game or used in your own game that you could play in your classroom. So I'm going to show you a bit about what they look like. I'm just going to have to move my Zoom over. Wonderful. So you can see when you open up the concept cards, you have a link there to the discussion game if you'd like to explore it. But basically, each card kind of looks like this. So it could be printed and folded, and they have a word or a concept and a definition. So again, these could be, students could draw them at random and then have to talk about the vocabulary concept, or maybe they have to explain the concept and how it relates or how they think it might relate to whatever they'll be studying. Okay. Now, there are also event cards. They look very similar. Again, I'll just open those up so you can see what they look like. Again, so you have the different events, and on the front, you have a picture of the card of that event. Now, these cards, because we always like to reinvest everything we do at Learn, these cards are used in an LES on the civil rights, which is accessible via our slide deck for today. So if ever you want to explore a bit of that LES, it's a wonderful LES. You can visit it here and you'll see all the concept cards are right there, all of the event cards, and they also come with student workbooks. Wonderful. So that is it for our resources today. I'm going to pause the recording and open up the floor if anyone has any questions about these resources, or if anyone wants to share something that they're doing in their class. Now is the time. So thank you for those who are joining us via the recording, and we hope you tune in next week for another amazing coffee break.